All right, everybody. Stocks by the numbers. Welcome back. Quick tech analysis update here on AST SpaceMobile, ticker symbol ASTS on the Nasdaq. Stock ran up today, as you see, closed up a little over 3 points, up at 29.83, up about 11 and a third percent down. Handful of cents after hours here, 13 cents. But I just want to show you a couple of things here. First of all, I was laying out the overall potential trumpet that the stock may stay in, and I was also pointing out kind of a tighter channel where we could have potentially rejected off of today and dropped down and kind of stayed in this potential wedge before gearing up and breaking out maybe over the next week or two. But as we see, the stock ran up today again, up 3 points, over 11% on the day. And let's look at how it started coming right out of the gate, because this was just beautiful. And as you see, we opened and we had some undecided candles here coming right out of the gate. These first two right here, you can see bottom of the screen, 9:30, 9:31 a.m. So right at market open, we had a slight pop up, but then we were just kind of hanging out, undecided. Boom, stock decides to break, gets below the 20-day moving average. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. Right here, boom, big break below the 20-day moving average, spikes back up, but then rejects and closes below the 20-day moving average, slowly ticking upward. Finally, the next candle closes above the 20-day, and then boom, that signals big bullish momentum. Not only does the stock bounce healthily off of this 20-day moving average, but it also spikes up and closes above our top trend line of the quote-unquote potential wedge that we were watching. So we popped up above that trend line. Then you can see it basically drop down right here, just a couple of cents away from the trend line, kind of to potentially retest, but the momentum stayed, and then the stock just continued to step onward and upward, and obviously ran to almost $31 a share. I believe we were looking at the daily mid-Bollinger Band level, I believe 30.68. I said, in my opinion, if the stock breaks up, you can see that level. If the stock broke down, we were talking about, I think, like potentially the mid-20s and like maybe into the 24 range, but obviously stock decided to bounce upward, right? And when we looked at it again, if we back up, like I said, we're in this big trumpet here, these top and bottom lines, but I also drew this line across. That's why I was looking to see, like, was this just a flash breakout on this day? Because then the stock dropped back into this range. So that's why I was expecting maybe potentially a rejection here, and then we were just going to channel there. But the stock jumps up, and little tech analysis quiz for you, because I know a lot of you are still trying to learn, or you're trying to better yourselves on chart reading and tech analysis, or some people in general are just trying to absorb as much knowledge as they can before they actually pull the trigger and start investing with their own money. So if you're in the learning phase right here, we had the big spike up, and then we have this slight consolidation taking place here. So let us know down in the comments section what pattern you believe that looks like. But in my opinion, I am expecting a breakup, potentially could go as high as 33.5, as you see, right around this top trend line of the trumpet. But even to the bottom of this previous spike out before we gap down, you can see the low was 32.88. So that's why, in my opinion, we could potentially spike up. You can see like another 7, 8, 10% day Monday. And I wanted to switch over to stock charts real quick before I let you go. The RSI was basically middle of the road. It was like 50.51. Now we spiked up. It's only at 55.73 right now. So in my opinion, definitely still some room to grow. We were looking at the pivot point here, 28.41. Stock obviously closed up here at almost 30. So we closed above that pivot point, technically signaling that we're still bullish, with also this potential pattern setting up for us as well. So that's why I'm saying, in my opinion, we could pop up and run to the 32s, potentially 33s. But next resistance level on the daily here, 39.71, which of course would technically be a new 52-week high. So we have to wait and see how much momentum this stock actually still has, and also more importantly, if it really has the momentum to break up and out of this trumpet that it's currently in. But we also spoke about the MACD potentially flattening out and starting to curl. You can see it now looks that way with this big pop today. So now we'll see if we're going to continue upward, or if we're going to, sell off and start breaking down. But in my opinion, it does still seem bullish to me. Let's switch over weekly real quick, see if we see anything. No, not really, but we do have now our 50-day and our 200-day kind of meeting up together right there, 835 and 838. So this is why I said, when a stock, usually when a company slowly, grows over time, you see the rises of the moving average. In this case, you had a stock that was consistently kind of just channeling downward and percolating, and then we had the big breakout, but that started mid-May. Now we're in mid-September. So time flies when you're having fun. But you can see that's already been 4 months that the stock not only ran extremely high, but is now staying high, right? So now you have the 200-day slowly curling and heading upward, but the 50-day that was consistently dropping with the stock for over, 2 years, 2.5 years, has now instantly reversed just over the last couple of months, and it's gone from about 4, now it's above 8. So the 50-day moving average just over the last couple of months is up roughly 100+%, which again, as I always say, technically is a good sign, because as these moving averages come up, even if the stock slowly pulls back and starts to break, it's going to use those now higher moving averages as potential future support levels, which of course is a good thing. But stock obviously ran up big, and we're nowhere near this 971. But I wanted to look as well. What was this level that we looked at? Yeah, see, like 3190, like 3196. And that would be like here, which, yeah, as you can see, is basically right at these bounces, right? Look at the low here after we had the big spike up coming out of the earnings, and then we had the retest pullback here going below the 20-day before it bounced. You can see, look at the low here, again, top left of the screen, the O, the H, the L, the C, that's the open, the high, the low, the close. You can see low, 3191, low, 3202, right? And that basically meets up as well with not only the about the top of the bodies of these candles, but also the top of this candle as well. You can see, look at the high here, 3205. That's actually a close at 3163, so a little bit lower there. But this candle closed 3210, closed 3198, right? Open 3208. So that's going to be probably the next level, in my opinion, that the stock is going to run to, which obviously was a previous pivot point. And in my opinion, based off of the momentum, it could, again, wanna break through even that resistance level and pop right up into the 33s and try to retest the trumpet. So we have to wait and see how bullish this pattern actually is. Again, for all of you learning, I'm not going to say what I think it is, but let us know in the comments section what this looks like to you today. Boom, with the big spike up, and now the stock trending downward like that. But that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to give an update, because I know you guys are, you're watching it and you've been hyped about it. And we also looked at some of the technicals again, and we were looking at a potential break of like 10-12%, either to the upside or to the downside. And we were kind of in wait and see mode to see what the stock wanted to do. So here's your update, and obviously it decided to break upward over 11% today. So happy for all you shareholders, of course. I know you love to see it, but that's pretty much it. So I'll end it there. Once again, this is Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comments section. I'm usually very quick to reply. Thumbs up algorithm, right? That helps me get more eyes on the channel. But of course, subscribe to the channel. That is our handshake agreement. That is how you help me help you. But more importantly, moving forward, like I always say, I understand that markets are rocky, they're volatile, and they're very uncertain. So I want to wish all of you success. Hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. Thanks for your time. Enjoy your weekend.